Hi, you've tuned into the Bristol Town Administrators Table. I'm Steve Contente, Bristol Town Administrator. Today is March 11th, 2020. Today we have Scott Pickering, the Managing Editor at the East Bay Media Group, formerly the East Bay Newspapers. Scott, welcome to the Administrators Table.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Today we're going to change our format up a little bit. We're going to have the Managing Editor ask the questions. But I do have one question for us, Scott. Would you please tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the media group?
Sure. Thanks again for having me. So Scott Pickering, I've been with the newspaper company, as most people know it, for 25 years, most of 25 years. I've been in a number of different roles: a reporter, an editor, a sometimes salesperson, production person, managing editor, general manager. Do a lot of different things, as happens in small media companies these days. So lived in Bristol for a long time, lived in Barrington now, married with a bunch of children, and working pretty hard at the newspaper. So thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Scott, I'm available, and my goal here was to answer questions, and so feel free to ask me anything about what's going on in town. I'll say that there's a lot of exciting things that are happening, and we have good days ahead of us. So, but as I said, please ask me anything that you may hear, questions that come up down at the newspaper office, and please, I'm here.
Great. All right, so it's hard to have a conversation these days without talking about the coronavirus. A lot of people in positions of authority, whether it's at universities or towns or states, are having to make decisions about policy and events and everything. And as I do go through my life, I see two schools of thought. It's either everybody be cautious, stay inside, don't go out, or it's live your life, be normal, and let's all function the way we're supposed to. Where do you fall in that, and are you having these discussions at a town level about what to do, what not to do, and I understand this is evolving day by day, but just what are your thoughts today as we talk?
Okay, what we're doing is, and yes, we are talking daily. I'm talking regularly with my department heads. The lead person in the town of Bristol is our fire chief, Mike DeMello. He is the town's emergency management director. He has access to a medical advisor through the fire department who is a doctor. Mike happens to be a paramedic. So what we're doing is we're calling in, and we are listening in and participating with the health department's conference calls. Actually today, 1 o'clock, I have one actually right out of the White House, which through Intergovernment Affairs, I'll be listening in on that. But it's an opportunity for us to ask questions. As far as us in Bristol, we are monitoring. We're trying to contain. I think that's the virus. But there are no known cases in Bristol right now. So we're urging caution on our website, on our social media outreach. We're really pushing hand washing. If you sneeze in your elbow. If you're sick, stay home. Basic, good hygiene at this point. But no, we're planning on moving forward. This is we understand today that Roger Williams is changing their class schedule, and the students aren't going to be back. Well, that's 5,000 students, and that is going to really affect our town. Those are our customers, those are our residents. And as far as we know, and as far as everything I've been told, there aren't any cases there right now at Roger Williams. So I think it's a gauged response right now, other than additional cleaning of town facilities, additional equipment that was ordered by the DPW director with different cleaning chemicals, like our custodians are cleaning more often. It's business as usual. Somebody already asked me, are we going to cancel a 4th of July parade? No, as of today, absolutely not. That outdoor event will not be canceled as of today. But the other thing we're learning is this virus, and I'm not a doctor, and I'm not speaking for the Department of Health, but this virus does not do well in humid temperatures. It does not do well in the sunlight. So I'm hoping that this starts to taper off. And we've been through this before. And I remember I was at the police department. We had the time it was the swine flu. We were all vaccinated. We don't hear much about that anymore. Right. So we're hoping that a vaccine is developed, and with the warmer weather this summer, things start to simmer down. But right now, there's a lot of people that are very apprehensive. You turn on the media, and you hear about something 1,000 miles away, and it's scaring people. So I think it's a gauged response. I don't think there's any need to be in panic mode right now. For the town of Bristol, yes, we're cautious. We're watching closely to see where the spread is, but it's business as usual. We're going to keep living.
Okay.
So you're asking my position on it. Unless I have some other information, the information we have currently, that's my position. But daily, I've been speaking with the fire chief, and the fire chief is watching this very closely.
Great. So what we want is a really hot, humid, miserably sweaty 4th of July parade.
Well, it's always fun when it's hot, right?
Right.
But I don't know if I'm going to get my 10,000 high fives at this parade, though. I was really trying to set a record this year.
It might be.
I might not. I think people are going to be running from me this year.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Thank you. Another topical area, a topical interest, is trash and recycling.
Yeah.
You're in the middle of rolling out the new program. Bins are being delivered, probably thousands every day are being delivered to people's houses. I'm sure there's some confusion. I'm sure there's some reaction. What are you hearing? What's the feedback? We're maybe a week to 2 weeks away from actually launching the new program. So how's it going so far?
It's going well. It's going well. And of course, any changes, we're creatures of habit. So there are people that are a little, they may not have all the information. We're doing the best we can to get the information out. But I'll say right now, don't use the new carts until Monday, March 30th. That's when we're going to turn over. We're still deploying them. There's 18,000 of these carts that we're getting out right now. But I'm excited about this. This was something when I took office, I said we need to automate. And I think the general public thinks it's just because we're trying to reduce injuries, which is one of the key reasons. But we're already saving. We're already saving with automation. We took 2 laborers from DPW and we brought them over to the sewer department, which were needed. The laborers at at the sewer department were needed to clean our collection system, which is all our sewer lines throughout town. We are under a consent decree. We've been under this consent decree for years and years because we actually put processed sewage into the bay, into the harbor. So we're watched by EPA and DEM. They're requiring us to more frequently clean our sewer lines. If you don't clean the sewer system, what happens is grease and buildup restrict the pipes, and then you have backups. You have backups and overflows out of manholes. You'll have them into basements. So getting back to the automation, by automating, we were able to free up 2 members of the DPW. We did it this budget year. We brought them over to the sewer department. And those people are out, those 2 men are out every day, and they're cleaning sewer lines. So you'll see that big box truck around town with the big town seal on the back. We just purchased that last year. So they're out and they're sending a water jet through the collection system. I could talk I could spend the whole session talking about the sewer system because it is a huge priority. It's very seldom thought of, but that sewer use fee, that $570 a year that every homeowner pays, that's what it costs to use your plumbing in your home, $570. And I like to compare that to a cable bill, a cell phone bill, the water bill. I think our sewer department is doing a fantastic job. In fact, I was there at the compost facility last week. I took some photos. I'm going to try to get them up on this episode. Our own personnel were actually able to modify the conveyor belt system, get a new mixer in the compost facility. We're the only town in the state of Rhode Island that's taking our solid waste, mixing it with a yard waste, and creating a product that we can sell. So Bristol has some really good things going on. We've been doing that for years, but that's less solid waste that we have to pay to deliver up in Johnston. So getting back to
Trash.
savings with the reduction in personnel, the reduction in injuries, which we found over the last 5 years, we had over $300,000 in injuries that cost the town of Bristol over $300,000 in injuries. That's men lifting up trash barrels, putting them in the back of a packer. We're going to eliminate that. So that, along with the data is showing every community that has gone to this automated system with these carts have had a reduction in solid waste and an increase in recycling.
Yep.
So the savings with the tipping fees, the savings in labor, the savings with injuries, it's going to pay for itself. There's no question.
You and I are both in the customer service business to some extent. I know as a town administrator, get a lot of little complaints on anything. I do too at the newspaper business. Just this morning I had an 82-year-old woman in the office showing me a picture of a pothole that she was outraged by, that she tripped in on her morning walk. But going back to the trash, I know a common complaint I hear is, I'm elderly, these things are too big, how am I supposed to get this up my driveway? I can't maneuver them, where am I supposed to put them? So it's all it's all in the nitty gritty where all this stuff comes out. So what's the response to people on little issues like that? What are you saying?
We had quite a lengthy discussion about the cart sizes. Those aren't the largest sizes. 95 gallons are the large ones, 64s are the next step down. So what I would say is try it first. Put some weight in it and try to manage this thing. These things have large wheels. They have a very good center of gravity. So I think what we need to do is we need to try the system for a month or two first, and then gauge, is this working? All the other communities are doing it, and they're all using this. It's the medium size, the 64 gallons.
Yep.
We did leave an option open for residents to up to a 95 gallon. So once these are deployed, we're going to try them. If a resident needs the larger cart, we'll go with the larger. But this already is a step down, and they're used throughout the country. Yep. So. But getting back to the pothole, I don't believe I got a call on this.
I think it's on a state road, so
okay.
So you're off the hook for now.
Well, we'll still fix it.
We'll take it up with Peter Alvidi at DOT. Okay, we'll take that offline. Another current topic that's come up in our paper, and I know probably to your office as well, is Bristol's commercial district, commercial rents, the downtown business district, empty storefronts. A lot of comments have been made about Bristol versus Warren and how Warren is thriving and Warren's got new restaurants and Warren's got new businesses. Do you see any differences or advantages that Warren has over Bristol? Is Bristol getting a bad rap, or are there actually things there that distinguish the two right now to the commercial district?
No, I think if you just take a snapshot, you can look at something a certain way. I don't look myopically at something. I look big picture, and I'm excited. I think with next year, if somebody has property in the downtown area, I would say hang on to it, because we got good things happening downtown. I could easily say, a year or two ago, downtown Warren, there were a lot more empty storefronts than Bristol has. But I believe in free market, and I think with what we're going to do with the waterfront, I think we're going to have a lot of foot traffic down there. What happened in Warren, from what we can see, is the American Tourister development. There's no question that had a huge impact on Warren's current success. And I wish him more success. It's not a competition. I think it's great for the East Bay, and I think we complement each other. Their success is ours. But I see this marina expansion in the fuel pumps. Our food and beverages have been going up every year. Our revenues from food and beverages are up every year. Our transient boats that are visiting Bristol, we're turning them away. We don't have enough space. We are in permitting right now. It's comment period with Coastal Resource Management Council. Everything looks good that we're going to get these fuel pumps in late this summer. So fuel pumps, you say, what does that mean? That means people coming to Upper Narragansett Bay, Bristol Harbor, to fill up their boats with fuel. So it'll be right at the State Street dock. Those are people that are going to stop. We're going to have 20 additional transient slips there. They're going to get off. the key and what we need to do is we need to get those people when they put their feet on land, we need to get them into our stores, we need to get them into our restaurants. And we're working on that. Chris Vitale, our economic development coordinator, he met with 6 businesses within the last week alone. We're putting money in this budget. My budget will be out Monday evening, first council meeting for the budget. So Monday the 16th. My budget will be out. In there, I'm going to have a section on marketing. I think this year it's crucial that we connect our visitors with our restaurants and shops. So Chris is working on a marketing program. And I'll remind you, we still have the high-speed ferry coming in. We need to do a good job getting those people that spend, DOT told us, $82 per passenger. That's what they're spending in Bristol. We didn't have thousands of them come to Bristol. Hopefully we'll change that this year. But each person, DOT is telling us, their data was saying $82 per person. That's what they were spending when they came to Bristol. So, I think, we're helping our businesses the best we can, but I would be foolish if I thought that retail hasn't changed in the last 5 years. It really has. It's changed everywhere. I will say that our services are doing well. Our restaurants are doing great. Anything that has a service component to it, any storefront with a service component, like a shoe repair, a hardware store that fixes windows, anything like that, they're doing well, from what I can see. The town has made steps on parking. The Prudence Island Ferry dock, they're pouring the last cap right now. That's going to be public parking that we own. We're not paying rent there. We're going to own that parking for the public and for the marina expansion. The little parking lot that we rent, that'll open up May 1st. We bought the parking lot on State Street. So the town is doing what we can for our businesses, and we're all ears. Tell us what else we can do.
So I'm going to switch topics. Thank you. And I promise I will ask you some things that have maybe a more positive spin, but we talked about the things we hear. So I get a lot of complaints in my office as well, as I'm sure yours, about living next to, you mentioned the Roger Williams students. One thing that will happen when they don't come back to class is things will get quieter around town. Mm-hmm. I hear a lot of complaints about people living next to the college kids and the noise and the nuisance. Sometime a year or two ago, the town passed a nuisance law, it was called, to deal with chronic problem houses. Has that been, to your knowledge, has that been effective? Has that been enforced? Has it been deployed in any way? Is it having an impact?
It is. It's working. The police department have issued summonses to the property owners in several instances. The police just did the police chief did an extensive report on that recently. Within the last 2 or 3 weeks, we met with Roger Williams University. Vice President was with us. The Director of Public Safety was with us. And they're doing everything that they can to partner with us to stop that type of behavior. So we're doing what we can. I think the nuisance ordinance, I think it is working. So yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I believe it is working.
Okay, good.
There's always room for improvement, and we're gauging it as it comes along. And part of the big problem is a lifestyle that is much different. You have working families. We're very close to college students, not bad kids, very good, and for the most part respectable kids, but they're coming and going at different hours. They're coming in, they're slamming their doors, they're entertaining. So I think we got a good handle on it. Chief Lynch, who just took office within the last 6 months, this is a priority for him. I want to give him a good chance to make some good progress on that. But I think we're in the right direction, and we are citing the property owners, which is a big change.
Right. Yeah, I think for a lot of people, what frustrates them is that the housing could be anywhere. So you think of the Roger Williams campus, and maybe you think of areas around town where there's students living, but then at any moment, your next door neighbor could become a college housing facility, and you have no control over that. So for people who've lived in certain neighborhoods or houses for a long time, it can be jarring to suddenly have that change to your environment. And I know the town can't play a role in that, but I'm sure you hear these complaints.
I do. No, I understand it. It is frustrating. It's frustrating for us also. But I will say, I feel as if currently they're working with us. They're going out on scene with us. If we call them, they show up with us.
Yeah.
They're bringing those students into student affairs which jeopardizes their graduation. So they have leverage over the students. But unfortunately, what was happening over the years is there would be a turnover in students, and then we start all over again. The big game changer is this new ordinance that was passed, and it's being enforced. So I'd like to sit back, maybe we look at this again in 6 months or 9 months from now, and I think you're going to notice that I think it's working because the landlords now are being held accountable. So
you're doing what you can.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Let's switch to another timely topic. The Silver Creek Bridge has been, the construction project has started. I was personally one of the doomsday predictors who said if you shut that bridge down entirely, the traffic is going to snarl the entire town. We'll never know if I would have been right because the plan changed and it's only one lane that's closed and it's open. What have you seen in terms of the impact? I've noticed a significant change. The town has now put a police officer at the intersection of Sherry and Chestnut. That probably wasn't part of the original plan, but what have you seen in terms of the overall impact? From my standpoint, it hasn't been that bad.
Yeah.
It's been tolerable, but what are you seeing?
I'm not hearing a lot of complaints. In fact, I had lunch yesterday downtown, and the business owner said, yeah, maybe a little bit of a difference, but I think if Bristol is a destination, the customers are going to get there. That's what I think. I think this is the worst right now. Full disclosure, I got to tell you, I'm a little bit concerned about the students not being here. I think that's going to hurt more. I think it's going to hurt more than the actual detour that we have right now. But this is this is as bad as it's going to get. This is it. We're down to one lane, southbound only. This is the worst it's going to get. And I think looking at the traffic downtown, there's a reduction in traffic. There are more parking spaces, but it's not a ghost town by no means. But I'm looking forward to early June when we reopen both directions again for an entire month. After 4th of July, we're going to go back down to one lane, and then we're going to look for the end result, which is a smooth road, paved, safe, open up for school, and I'm looking forward to getting it behind us. It's a pain in the neck, there's no question. It was a pain in the neck from day one when we heard about it. We're like, but we can't continually fight with DOT. We're looking at big pictures here. We're looking at the other things we're trying to accomplish. I'd like to get more sidewalks fixed. You just told me somebody tripped. I'd like Hope Street repaired. That's been pushed off for almost 20 years now. I'm fighting to get Hope Street repaired from Silver Creek north all the way to the Warren line. Ferry Road needs work. Medicum Avenue still, as far as I'm concerned, still has repairs that need to get done. So I think, DOT was on a mission to get that bridge done. We expressed countless times what our concerns were. It was a nightmare, there's no question. But this is the worst it's going to get, what we're experiencing right now. So I'd like to ask the businesses and our residents, be patient. Let's work through this together, and hopefully it'll be a success. And again, next year, I think it's going to be a different story for Bristol. Good. Yeah.
All right, we're going to hold you to that. This is an election year. Every other year is an election year. Occasionally I think about that, and I question whether we should be electing every 2 years, because you go through one cycle, you relax for a brief period of time, and then you're back on the campaign trail. First of all, are you running for office again?
I am. Yes.
There we go. We made some news today.
I want to add to that. I think I got to finish what I started. There's a lot of things. Like I said, there's a lot of successes ahead. Whether it's me or the next person that comes in, they're going to benefit from revenues from the solar project. Like I said, this marina expansion. The Mosaico property, 500 Wood Street, we have a buyer. It was announced in the newspaper. We have a buyer. There's big plans for that, and I'm pretty confident it's going to happen. Wood Street is going to blossom. Wood Street is going to be, I'll say the word, it's going to be huge.
Yeah. Okay, good. We're going to hold you to all that. We appreciate your optimistic outlook. You mentioned someone earlier in town, your police chief, Kevin Lynch, new chief in town. I sense there's a lot of exciting things happening, changes, new programs. I imagine you feel the same. Do you want to talk about any of the stuff that's happening in the police department?
I'd love to. First of all, the police department is accredited, nationally and state accredited. Chief Lynch, he took this job, and it struck us during the interviews, because he wants to be here. He it was not a good, I wouldn't say, I don't think it was a good financial decision, so I don't think that was his motives. I think one of the things he said is, I want to come back to Bristol and finish what I started. He started as a park policeman at Cold State Park. And I think he had a passion to return to uniform and serve the public. That's what he's about. From everything I can see, he's all about community programming. He does not shy away from engaging the public. He's at Franklin Court. He's makes sure his police officers are at the senior center. He's out jogging now downtown. Somebody told me that he was at the construction site. He went for a jog and he was at the Silver Creek Bridge the other morning. He's out in our community. He's got an enormous amount of energy, but what I like about him is it's positive energy. Positive energy. He loves ideas. He loves empowering the officers there, and he's tough to keep up with. He's very good. I think it's, our other chiefs did a fine job, but at this point in time, with where we're going in the town, he's the perfect fit. Bristol has one of the lowest crime rates around, and so at this point, what we need to do is we need to be even better. We need to take those resources and we need to engage the youth, engage the seniors, be available, and help where we can. So that's what he's all about. I just shared something they put out, and they have a big countdown right now with some breaking news. I know what it is, but I'm not going to spoil it. But I want people to start paying attention to what this breaking news is going to be. I think it's in 7 or 8 days from now. He says, you're going to love it. We have some breaking news. So
that's what, in the business, that's what they call a tease. So I'm on deadline for tomorrow's paper, so you're welcome to share it with me offline if you'd like. So we're almost out of time. We've touched on a lot of issues. You are running for re-election to finish what you started. The 4th of July parade is happening as of now. 4th of July
parade is happening, yes.
Do you know who the chief marshal is?
I don't know.
All right, is it you?
No.
Okay. Anything else you want to touch on before we close? Anything we haven't talked about that you want people to know about?
No, Scott, I asked you to come on, and I didn't know what the questions were, and if you have second thoughts about not asking me, I'm doing the best I can, Scott, and I try to be honest. I'm doing what I think is right for the community. Not everybody agrees with some of my positions, but I believe it's what's right for the community. I think I know the town. My entire family is here. I have growing children in the community, in the school district. I want what's best for the community. Like I said, if there is, I'm not hiding anything. If you have any other questions, feel free. You got 30 seconds.
We got 30 seconds left. Give me a quick preview of the budget. What's the potential tax impact as the budget is proposed?
There will from what I have, and I'm still waiting for motor vehicle revenues, but tax will probably go up a little bit. And I said from day one, there'll never be large increases if I can have something to do with that. My biggest concern is keeping people in their homes.
So we're going to hold you to that too. All right, thank you.
Thanks for joining us on the administrators table. We'll see you next time. Scott, thanks for being on the show, and be well. Take care.